You know what's crazy to me? There are a lot of people who have gotten famous on social media, not because they've shared positivity, not because they've provided services that make other people's lives better, more fulfilling and prosperous. There are some who are famous for that reason, but most of the people, it appears, are social media famous because of negativity, because they've gone on to the internet and chosen to share their trauma, right? Because people are entertained by their poor decision making, by the abuses that they've suffered, by the ways in which they show up that demonstrate that they have low or poor self-esteem. And that's what we are entertained by, right? We're entertained by the negativity. And so those people are famous. And so they don't have to concern themselves with the algorithm. They don't have to concern themselves about what time to post and how long their video should be and getting a hook to get people, pulled in and all of that other stuff. I've been following some content creators whose job it is to help people go viral on social media and get to 10K on TikTok and, do all of those things so that we can monetize, right? And one of the things that I found from going to all of these videos is a lot of these people don't have a lot of people watching on the video, right? And so they are getting the engagement and they're getting, the gifts and all of that type of stuff or whatever. And I'm sure that it's probably working for them. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing what they're doing, right? And this is not shade to those people, but it seems like they're getting paid to tell other people how to get paid. They're not getting paid based on any actual content, in my opinion. Like, they're not showing you their life. They're not, showing you something that they do as a business or, providing you with some tips or tools for general life or some area of life. They're literally only providing you with information on how to become famous or make money on social media. And they're making money telling you how to make money, right? And I just find it odd that you got to jump through all these hoops, right, in order to make $1 out of 15 cents online. And you can make good quality content, right? You can tell really good stories. I take the time to write out my bedtime stories. If nothing else, I have an outline. And even when I'm freestyling, it's based on an outline. There's an expected end. Sometimes I write the whole thing out. You know what I'm saying? And it's intriguing and it has all kinds of angles and information. And you're going to get spiritual. You're going to get life coaching. You're going to get entertainment. You're going to get the sex and you're going to get the, shoot 'em ups, and you're going to get all of the things. You're going to get all of the facets of life in the Bedtime Story series, right? And then I'm giving you some lifestyle content with the, weekend resets and the things around the house or whatever. And then I'm giving you cooking, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm giving you hair care. I'm giving you a variety of things so that I can attract a variety of people, because all of those things are facets of my life. I don't feel like my page should have to be just one thing. It shouldn't just be bedtime stories and everybody here is here because they like bedtime stories. It shouldn't just be lifestyle and everybody is here because they like watching people clean up and put away groceries. It shouldn't be just hair care and everybody's here because they like watching people who do hair, whatever. It should be possible for me to have a variety of things on this one page. I should need 5 pages, right? Because we're all multifaceted. And I would think that being multifaceted, there are going to be people who are going to be interested in this and that might not be their thing. They'll be interested in this and this might not be their thing. So in my mind, that should mean that I should have a lot more followers, because there are going to be so many different groups of people who are interested in what it is that I am posting or what have you. I'm not complaining about how TikTok want to run their, system or whatever. But in my personal opinion, it's being run completely and totally to their advantage. If you buy coins, right, spend $10, you're getting 700 coins. They're already taking $3 from you, right? And then when you give the gift to somebody, that person is then splitting the money from the gift that you gave them with TikTok. And then people who put their Cash App or their PayPal or their, information or whatever, or they ask for tips or whatever, the people who watching them, some of them actually judge them for asking for tips. excuse me, if you're buying coins and then you sending people gifts, then you are tipping them. If these people taking time out their life to go live and to provide you with entertainment, you know what I'm saying? Because clearly you looking for entertainment if you on social media. Why should they not be paid for the service that they providing? Why should they not be paid for their hard work? And why is it okay for you to send a gift, you know what I'm saying, a $999 gift, which is $10, you know what I'm saying, to somebody on live, but it's not okay for them to ask you to send $10 on Cash App or PayPal or Zelle or whatever the case may be? That's crazy, you know. And then you judging them for that being how they make their money, and then you judging the people who are actually tipping them, who are actually giving them, you know, the funds. Now, you're not judging people who sending gifts. They be sending gifts up the wazoo. I don't even know how much Galaxies cost, but these things are expensive, okay? There are people who are paying to promote videos, right? So they literally paying TikTok to show people their videos, when if I'm posting the video, it should be there. It should be made available to people who are looking for that particular type of content, who are watching that kind of content. I shouldn't have to pay you for other people to see the content that they've already shown you via the algorithm that they want to see. I think that is, you know, crazy or whatever. And I'm not discouraged, but I'm concerned. And I would really like to hear what your thoughts might be on the topic. Like, what do you think? Do you think that I'm wrong and, you know, there are lots of people who, you know, have large followings on social media without having to expose their deepest, darkest secrets, without having to be, you know, ratchet, or, you know, without having to use a bunch of profanity, without having to share their abuse, without having to be generally negative? One of the things I notice is that a lot of people don't seem to get that if somebody posts something negative and you comment on it to say this is negative, you're literally putting money in those people's pockets. So they have thousands upon thousands of people in their comments saying hateful things to them, which that's a problem already. But they're saying these hateful things, and the hateful things is making them money. So they say something clickbaitish, you know what I'm saying? And these people just falling for it. Oh, I hate you. I don't know why you on my timeline. Why do I keep seeing you? Because you keep commenting on the videos, dummy. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, that's clearly what people want to see, because that's what you're interacting with. You know, so tell me what you think in the comments. Am I tripping, you know, and I should just go with the flow? Or, you know what? Because I have personal stories that are very, very interesting that I could absolutely share, and they would absolutely keep you captivated. The only problem with that is I don't have a whole lot of people who I've been in a relationship with who are no longer in my life. And I would feel compelled to get their permission to share some of those stories. And even if those stories are negative, and even if those stories have a whole bunch of juice and whatever else like that, I haven't cut those people off. You know, they're still an active part of my life. Like, most of the stories that I can tell you about dating involve people who are still a part of my life, even if I'm no longer in a romantic relationship with them. And they would be a little upset if I got on the internet and told the story of how we met and how we were together and how the relationship didn't work out. Like, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be able to do that. You know, if I tried to tell a story that involved, you know, family members or friends, I would feel compelled to get their permission to share that story. Now, I have some stories with my sister that she's completely on board with me sharing, but those stories are not nearly as good without her present to help share the story, right? And I'm willing to do that the next time she and I get together. But like I said, am I tripping? Just tell me in the comments, am I tripping?